foul. But what's going on with your next? What's going on with your next DVD project?
Well, man, I appreciate the love you gave on the first one for sure. You always, promoted it, and you're watching it right now. Like 3 years after it dropped, so that's love. But honestly, the DVD, whatever I put out, man, I want it to be. I'm kind of a perfectionist, as a lot of us are in this industry. So, we're stacking tapes now, but I'm not going to put anything together unless a different company comes at me, whether it's a production company, whether it's a network, whether it's, a producer, and he throws money at me and says, I love the footage you guys got, let's put something together and let me put it in stores for you. You know what I mean? It's so hard doing it yourself, man, with internet sales and all that. I definitely, being 22 now and having invested thousands and thousands of dollars into this already, I'm definitely not going to risk anything more, you know what I mean? So for now, we're just stacking, we're YouTubing, and when someone comes at me and says, I love what you're doing, let's put together something bigger, then I'm going to roll with that. But right now, just stacking tapes, YouTubing. So, trying to be smart, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. Dealt with it on our end. Some people are just too quick to drop. They'll stack all this footage and they think, okay, we have enough. Let's put the DVD out. Where you like, you know what? There's always room for more. So I understand where you're coming from on that tip. That's very smart thinking on your end.
I appreciate it, man.
What do you think about the internet street ball beef that goes on between some players, from different countries and stuff like that? What do you think about all that?
I think it's cool, man. Everyone says beef is stupid, whatever, it's pointless. I think it's cool. I think it, in high school, back when I was younger, I used to love that shit. I used to thrive on going on the boards and seeing who was beefing with who and what was going on. It's exciting. Just like the rap game, it helps boost sales, and I guess on the streetball thing, I guess it boosts, hits on YouTube would be the equivalent, or, maybe mix DVD sales or something like that. So that's cool, man. I think it's healthy, you know what I mean? So I love to see people battling and talking shit. I don't do it myself, but it's entertaining. So I think it's fun for the younger fans. I think it's good.
Okay, so you think it's a good marketing play for some people?
Definitely. I think it's good, publicity, and I think it's healthy, man. Beef is always cool with me.
So what do you think about people saying that street ball's dead? For some reason, people think because there's no more N1 tour, there's no more huge tour, that street ball is dead. What is your outtake on that?
Man, I'm just telling to come to Boston, or go to Madison, or go to Toronto, or go to Fort Lauderdale, because street ball is popping, man. It's just, it might not be on TV and stuff, but it's popping, man. The games we do are crazy. We shut it down. We got dunks, we got real game, real ball, gritty, grimy defense, everything, man. Street ball is alive and well, as far as I'm concerned. People say it's dead, you're bored. For real.
So, what do you think the possibilities of people like me, you, Clown Prince, Chuck Milan, Snake, people like that? What do you think the possibility for something like that to happen? Like a big group of us get together, put our heads together, and come up with something that can make street ball bigger. And1's no longer on ESPN no more. There's nothing on MTV. What would you think if all of us got together? Because, there's some egos involved in street ball. We all know that. All of us have our own little, cockiness or whatever. What do you think, or do you think anything like that would ever happen? And if it did, how would it turn out?
Man, that would be crazy. Kind of like a little side note, like I've been wanting to put together like an underground, like street ball, like convention or like an all-star weekend type of thing forever. But obviously, the resources and the sponsors are hard to get. But yes. I think if anything, like GSB, like Chuck, my boy Chuck, who's probably gonna give this a 1-star rating because I owe him $200 from a Beirut game about 2 months ago. So he's gonna be hating on this interview, but he's my boy forever, and he gives me a lot of good advice, and he's doing it huge. That's motivation to all of us to just basically come up with a new concept, like a dunk team. That was crazy, kind of revamp it, like revamp the whole, like I forget what the Euro dunk team was called back in the day.
Slam Nation.
Slam Nation, yeah. He kind of revamped that whole idea with crazy. I mean, he's messing with Reebok now and everything. So underground streetball has just as much appeal. You know, it's us, days, you know, manic, everything. If we collaborate in our minds and just kind of brainstorm something that could be big. Obviously, YouTube is great because you never know who's on. Everyone's on YouTube. You know, CEOs from companies look at YouTube. So I think as long as we just keep grinding and being as creative as we all are and putting in the necessary time to you know, spend 10, 20 hours a week minimum, just grinding, I think something we could be better than any type of street ball that's ever been out and make more money than anyone's ever made off of sports entertainment. It's just how much work you put in and how creative you're willing to get. So, I mean, I'm doing it forever. I don't know about you, I don't know about CP, but this is pretty much my life, man, for us forever.
Oh yeah, like I'll do it until the wheels fall off. You know, once I get to the point, you know, I've said this to my wife and kids before. Once it gets to a point where it's not fun no more, then that's when it's time for me to kind of step away from it. Once it becomes too much of a hassle and, you know, there's too much bitching and complaining going on, that's when it's time for me, you know, to step away. Because, you know, we do stuff, you know, we as in, you know, Dave Streetball, Not Keep It Local, we do stuff for our neighborhoods, we do stuff for, you know, other organizations, we do stuff for kids, and, you know, some of us, you know, we take the downfall because they're like, oh, well, you guys don't do nothing, you know, against other crews and this and that. And I tell people this, it's not that I do stuff from other crews, but here in Madison, Wisconsin, and here in Wisconsin alone, when you do something to benefit other people, they'll come. If you do something where I bring on to the streetball crew, they don't even know who these people are. So they're not going to pay to see us play each other if it's not benefiting anything. And that's where, you know, you having a business mind like I do, know where I'm coming from with this. And, you know, like I said, I don't want to bring up nothing bad, but, you know, you were put in a situation where people are saying, well, you know what, you need to play us for this amount of money, and you need to do this and that, or you're not this and that. And you said, you know what, I'm a business person. You're bad for my business, so I'm not going to do business with you. And I thought you were a stand-up person for doing that. You know, I got to condemn you for that one right there, because it was a hard decision you had to make. And I was around when you're going through all that bullshit, and, you know, they try to do you wrong. But you being the person you are, you're a very smart young man, so by them trying to diss you, you kind of turned it around on them and say, you know what, say what you want to say, I'll still be here, and you guys will be somewhere down the road. And you were 100% right about that, you know.
Man, I appreciate that. I'm most definitely with you 10,000% about all that, but I appreciate the commending, because that was just a crazy situation, but I did what I could to get out of it, so it just was motivating in the end. You know how it is. I know you know how it is. I know you go through the same stuff, so.
Oh, yeah. So now, what about you guys doing games? I know you've done something in the past with Dan Savage. You know, he's a good dude, and, you know, I've talked to him about putting together a streetball convention in Vegas. You and I both know sponsors are hard to get for anything. You know, you're lucky if you get $50 out of a sponsor. You know, so that's why I think the big streetball convention hasn't happened. I've tried it here myself. You know, our all-star games that we have out here, they turn out pretty well. But there's a lot of egos. But that's, like I said, that's a different story. Way different story. How do you feel about playing against people like Professor, Hot Sauce, Ally Mo, Spider, and stuff like that? I know you played against a lot of these people. Some of you like, some of them you do not like. You know, do you give us a quick outtake of some of the players you played against in, you know, in the streetball world?
Yeah, man. I mean, most people don't know it. Like, we still got tapes and footage from games we did that we never even, like, YouTube. And we've done games with a lot of people. Pretty much everyone that's been through the N1 circuit. I mean, you name them, we pretty much played with them and, you know, stayed with them in hotels and all that. And I got to converse with a lot of them. It's motivating, man. I mean, at first, of course, you know, streetball, like I said, in high school, streetball was like my life. Like, I look at those guys like I look at, like, the Celtics. You know what I mean? Growing up, I mean, those guys were huge. So at first, it was kind of like being starstruck when I was younger, and, you know, playing with Spider and Pat the Rock and Professor and everybody. But you know, the more I do it now, the more I really first of all, no disrespect to any of those guys. You know, Ayo, the list goes on and on. I love all those guys. Those guys paved the way for, you know, little groups like us, you know, to get into the streetball entertainment industry, if you smaller. But honestly, the more I did games with